Welcome to Sleepy History Stories, the place where history unfolds slowly, gently, and quietly, guiding you toward restful sleep. Tonight, we are stepping back into a time of uniforms, trenches, and the daily lives of those who lived through World War I. As you settle into your chair, your bed, or your favorite cozy corner, I invite you to take a deep breath, exhale slowly, and allow the world of 1914 to 1918 to surround you. The sights, sounds, and rhythms of this period will carry you softly through hours of gentle storytelling. Before we begin, I would love for you to leave a comment letting me know where you are watching from and what time it is, as it makes sharing this journey so much more special. Your thoughts and messages are deeply appreciated, and each one helps guide our storytelling together. Tonight we will explore daily life in World War I, from the quiet early mornings in towns far from the front lines to the meticulous routines of soldiers, nurses, and civilians. We will move slowly, listening carefully to the gentle rhythms of life during this turbulent era, noticing the small comforts, routines, and human connections that persisted even amidst uncertainty. So find your blankets, settle into your space, and let the relaxing ambiance of soft fires, distant winds, and gentle rain accompany this historical journey. Tonight, history becomes calm, immersive, and sleep-inducing. Let us begin. The first light of dawn creeps gently over the rooftops of a quiet European town in 1914. The streets are empty at first, save for the faint stirring of early risers. Smoke rises lazily from chimneys, curling into the pale morning sky. The air is crisp, carrying the scent of damp cobblestones, freshly baked bread, and the earthy aroma of livestock in nearby stables. It is a world beginning to wake unhurried, as if savoring the calm before the bustle of daily life. In small homes, families stretch and rise from simple beds. Wooden floors creak under careful footsteps as mothers and fathers dress in modest clothing, often patched and worn from repeated use. Children sit at tables, sleepy eyes blinking into the soft morning light, reaching for bowls of porridge or bread with a thin layer of butter, if it is available. The morning routine is gentle, deliberate, and rhythmic, a quiet dance that prepares each person for the day ahead. Outside, the town begins to hum softly. Shopkeepers lift wooden shutters, revealing their wares to the pale light. Bread from stone ovens fills the streets with a warm, comforting scent, mingling with the subtle tang of fresh milk and the faint sweetness of seasonal fruits. Merchants sweep their thresholds, brush away stray leaves and dust, and arrange barrels, baskets, and crates, preparing for the customers who will soon wander down the cobblestone lanes. Farmers bring goods from nearby villages. Carts rattle slowly over the stones, wheels squeaking in protest, laden with vegetables, eggs, butter, and cheeses. The horses breathe softly, snorting as they move, their hooves leaving damp impressions in the soft morning dust. The quiet rhythm of these early deliveries carries a sense of order, a gentle pulse that echoes the heartbeat of the town itself. At the same time, the post office begins its day. Letters are sorted carefully, tied in neat bundles, ready to travel along railways and roads to distant homes. The faint scent of ink, paper, and wood shavings drifts through the building, a sensory reminder of the quiet work that connects people even across long distances. In the homes of those with enough space and means, water is drawn from wells, buckets lifted carefully and carried inside. Faces are washed, hair combed, and garments adjusted. Even in this era, hygiene is a slow, deliberate process. The rhythms of washing, dressing, and preparing breakfast follow an almost meditative pattern, a comfort that steadies the mind for the day ahead. As the sun rises higher, street vendors begin to call softly, offering eggs, butter, small loaves of bread, and fresh herbs. Children run lightly along the edges of the lanes, carrying wooden toys or following older siblings to errands. Dogs wander lazily, tails swishing, noses tracing the familiar scents of the town. The clatter of wooden shoes, the hum of whispered conversations, and the occasional bark create a soundscape that is quiet yet alive. In homes, the aroma of breakfast continues to waft through doorways. Porridge thickens slowly over the fire, while tea or weak coffee steams gently in small cups. Families sit together, sharing the calm of the morning, speaking in hushed tones, savoring the warmth of food and the slow unfolding of the day. Even as the world beyond this town shifts with news of mobilizations, whispers of war, and distant rumblings along the borders, life here remains measured and gentle. People move with care, tending to animals, preparing goods for market, or sweeping the streets. Each movement is precise, each task deliberate, a small act of order and calm in a world that is quietly changing around them. The rhythm of morning continues. Carts arrive from the surrounding countryside. Horses' hooves tapping softly against stone. Merchants arrange baskets of produce, their hands brushing over the surfaces of vegetables, feeling their ripeness and freshness. A blacksmith may be at the edge of town, the soft metallic ring of hammer on metal echoing through the narrow lanes, though not loudly, just enough to remind listeners of steady, purposeful work. As the morning unfolds, the town is slowly alive. Windows reflect the soft sunlight, smoke rises and drifts lazily, and the gentle stirrings of human life carry a subtle, comforting cadence. Even the faint awareness of distant war does not intrude. Here today, the rhythm is calm, measured, and secure. By mid-morning, the markets are bustling softly, though never in a way that disturbs the gentle mood of our story. Shoppers move quietly, picking up fresh bread, eggs, and vegetables. Vendors call softly, and the mingled scents of herbs, baked goods, and livestock drift in a gentle haze through the town. The day moves forward slowly, offering moments of comfort, human connection, and routine that sustain life in quiet, enduring ways. This is morning in a town far from the front. The small rituals of daily life, the subtle sounds and scents, and the calming rhythm of humanity and its gentle, measured pace. Allow your mind to wander through the cobbled streets, to follow the soft steps of children, the deliberate movements of vendors, and the flickering light of hearths within small homes. Let the pace of this morning, unhurried and immersive, guide you deeper into relaxation, drawing your thoughts softly toward rest. The morning in the town slowly stretches into late hours, and now our attention shifts to the barracks, just beyond the edges of the quiet streets. Here, soldiers awaken to a world structured by routine, discipline, and the gentle cadence of preparation that underpins life in a military camp during World War I. The barracks themselves are simple, rectangular buildings of wood and stone, windows allowing pale light to spill across rows of neatly aligned cots. Each cot bears the folds of blankets, uniforms carefully arranged, and the personal items of men who rise quietly to begin their day. As the first pale rays of the sun touch the barracks, the men stir. Feet touch the cold floorboards with careful, deliberate steps. The air carries the scent of polished wood, straw mattresses, and a faint trace of soap from hurried morning washes. The quiet is punctuated by the soft shuffle of clothing being donned and the calm, low murmur of men greeting one another in subdued tones, respectful of the calm that defines early hours. Each soldier moves through morning hygiene with care, washing hands and faces in shared basins, combing hair, adjusting belts and boots. The sound of water pouring into metal basins is steady and rhythmic, a quiet percussion accompanying the gentle shuffle of feet and the occasional clatter of a boot against the floor. Clothing is checked meticulously, tunics straightened, buttons fastened, insignia polished, belts tightened. The movements are slow, purposeful, forming the foundation of discipline that will carry them through the day. By mid-morning, the routines transition to drills. In a courtyard just outside the barracks, soldiers step onto the damp grass, boots pressing into earth soft by dew. The first exercises are measured, repetitive, and calm, stretching limbs, walking in formation, adjusting postures. The commanding officers speak softly, their instructions clear and precise, guiding the men through motions that are as much about order and rhythm as they are about readiness. The soundscape is subtle, the scrape of boots over grass, the soft murmur of commands, and the occasional distant crowing of a rooster from nearby farmyards. It is not loud or overwhelming. It is measured, each noise falling into a gentle cadence that soothes as it structures the morning. The men themselves move with quiet focus, muscles stretching, arms swinging slowly, preparing their bodies and minds for the long hours ahead. After drills, the soldiers attend to their duties within the camp. Equipment is checked, rifles polished, leather straps adjusted, ammunition packed carefully and placed precisely. Tents or barrack rooms are inspected, bedding arranged, floors swept. Even the mundane tasks, the cleaning of boots, the sharpening of tools, the organization of supplies become part of the immersive rhythm of the day, each task a meditation in motion. Meals in the barracks are simple but comforting. Porridge, bread, and occasionally small servings of meat or cheese are shared quietly among the men. The aroma of cooked grains and simmering soups drifts through the camp, a subtle, grounding scent that steadies both body and mind. Eating is calm and unhurried, conversations soft, laughter low, a gentle camaraderie forming beneath the surface of strict routine. The midday hours bring further exercises and small duties. Some men polish and repair equipment, others carry messages between sections of the camp, and a few tend to small vegetable plots or animal pens that provide additional sustenance. Even these chores are performed slowly, deliberately, the sounds of the camp forming a soft background to the unfolding day. In quieter corners of the barracks, letters are written. Soldiers dip pens into ink, the scratching of nibs over paper faint but steady. The letters carry thoughts to loved ones far away, simple descriptions of life in the camp, reassurances, and quiet reflections. These moments, intimate and still, offer a gentle pause in the structured flow of military life, a soft human touch amidst discipline and order. As the afternoon sun climbs higher, drills resume in gentle rotation, formations, marches, and slow movement exercises. The rhythm of steps across grass and stone, the quiet commands, and the controlled breathing of the soldiers create a soothing, repetitive pattern, inviting the listener to settle deeper into calm and focus. Every movement is precise, every task measured, And through it all, the men of the camp adapt to a world that demands patience, endurance, and quiet resilience. By the late afternoon, the soldiers return to lighter duties. Some mend clothing, others check inventory, and a few carry out maintenance on stables or workshop spaces. The air carries the mingled scents of wood, leather, and earth, subtly infused with the smoke from small cooking fires or stoves where simple meals are being prepared. The sunlight casts long, soft shadows across the camp, and a gentle breeze brings with it the distant hum of town life beyond the barracks walls. As this portion of the day draws to a close, soldiers prepare for evening routines, tidying sleeping quarters, washing once more, and gathering quietly around small fires or in common rooms. The warmth of these fires, the soft glow of lanterns, and the rhythmic murmur of voices form a comforting pattern. It is a space where discipline meets quiet reflection, and the immersive world of daily life in the barracks offers calm, steadying structure, and gentle human connection. The morning and afternoon have unfolded slowly, with care and precision, preparing both body and mind for the evening ahead. Every small detail, the movement of feet, the placement of tools, the faint aroma of food, and earth creates a layered, immersive soundscape and sense of presence, guiding the listener deeper into relaxation and contemplation. This is part 2, Soldiers Preparing. Drills, duties, and the quiet discipline of the barracks, a long, measured, immersive window into life in a World War I camp. Allow your mind to drift with the rhythm of steps, the faint murmur of commands, the smell of earth and hearth, and the quiet heartbeat of a camp slowly moving through its day. Beyond the quiet town streets and orderly barracks lies another world, one carved from earth and timber, mud and stone, the trenches. Here, the rhythm of life is slower than the chaos of the outside world might suggest, marked by a gentle, persistent routine that soldiers cling to as a source of stability. The trenches stretch like narrow ribbons through the landscape, walls reinforced with sandbags, planks, and the careful labor of those who dug and maintained them. Early morning light filters softly into these channels of earth, illuminating the damp, dark spaces with a muted glow. Soldiers rise from simple bedding laid on wooden planks or in shallow dugouts, the smell of damp earth mingling with straw, leather, and the faint scent of wood smoke from small cooking fires. They stretch limbs stiff from sleep, yawn quietly, and begin the slow rhythm of washing and dressing, the water drawn carefully from nearby pumps or barrels. Each motion is deliberate, a comfort in the routine, a reassurance that the world is still moving according to patterns they can control, however small. Breakfast is modest. Hard biscuits, thin porridge, or preserved meat sustain the men, and the gentle clinking of tin cups and bowls forms a soft backdrop to the murmur of low voices. Some write short notes or read letters from home, savoring the quiet intimacy of words carried across distance. Even amidst the tension of the trenches, these small human rituals anchor the soldiers in normalcy, providing a calm thread through the uncertainty of war. After breakfast, work begins. The trenches require constant maintenance. Mud is shoveled from pathways, sandbags are repositioned, wooden planks reinforced, and drainage checked to prevent the slow creep of water from softening the walls. The soft scrape of shovels against earth, the quiet thump of wooden beams settling into place, and the distant hum of other soldiers moving about create a layered, gentle rhythm that defines the day. Observation is a central task. Soldiers peer carefully over parapets, binoculars in hand, scanning the horizon for any movement or change. The act is slow and deliberate. Each glance is measured, each motion controlled. Even in vigilance, there is calm, as men learn to integrate the environment into their awareness without becoming overwhelmed. The distant landscape fields, hedgerows, forests shifts subtly with the wind, the soft sway of grass and leaves providing a soothing visual rhythm. Messages are carried between posts quietly and efficiently. Men move through the trench network with care, their boots pressing into damp earth, the soft rustle of fabric, and occasional muffled greetings passing between them. The delivery of information, the movement of supplies, and the careful tending of the trenches all contribute to a sense of order in a place that might otherwise feel unpredictable. Evening routines begin slowly as daylight wanes. Soldiers check weapons, inspect clothing, and perform small repairs. Lanterns are lit in dugouts and passageways, casting warm, soft glows against wooden planks and mud walls. The smell of smoke, earth, and cooking fires mingles with the faint aroma of the nearby forest or field, creating a multi-layered sensory environment. There is comfort in these predictable, repeated tasks, a grounding presence amidst a world of uncertainty. In quieter moments, soldiers talk softly, sharing memories of home, whispered thoughts of family, or gentle observations of the day's patterns. The sound of a distant stream or the soft rustle of leaves in the wind reaches down into the trenches, offering a subtle reminder of nature beyond the rigid lines of earth and timber. Small moments, cleaning a tool, adjusting a pack, folding a blanket, become meditative actions, fostering focus and calm. Meals are simple, shared in small groups. Stews, bread, or preserved rations are distributed quietly. The soft scrape of utensils against tins, the faint hiss of simmering water, and low murmurs of conversation form an understated soundscape, comforting in its consistency. Evenings stretch slowly, filled with minor duties and reflective pauses, the soldiers' movements forming a gentle, unhurried rhythm. Nightfall brings stillness. Lanterns glow softly in the dugouts. The wind whispers through the trench lines, and the distant horizon darkens, leaving the trenches cloaked in muted shadow. Men settle onto their bedding, listening to the quiet movements of the camp, the shuffle of boots, the distant echo of footsteps, the faint dripping of water. Even in this world of mud, timber, and earth, there is a calmness, a gentle immersion that carries the listener deeper into the slow pulse of life within the trenches. This is Part 3, Life in the Trenches, an extended immersive look at the routines, small comforts, and subtle rhythms of soldiers as they navigate daily life between battles. Allow your mind to follow the slow pace, the measured movements, and the quiet sensory details, letting the trenches with their earthy scent and muted sounds guide you further into calm and relaxation. Away from the trenches, in quieter corners of towns or temporary field hospitals, life unfolds in a different kind of rhythm. Here the routines are softer, slower, and filled with gentle observation. The hospitals, whether small town infirmaries or larger military facilities, are spaces of careful care where the movements of those inside are measured, purposeful, and soothing. The air carries faint scents of clean linen, mild disinfectants, and the subtle aroma of cooked broths, forming a calm and grounding atmosphere. Morning begins slowly, with nurses and orderlies moving softly along rows of cots and beds. They adjust blankets, check water pitchers, and ensure that each patient is comfortable. The soft rustle of fabric, the gentle clank of metal instruments laid aside after morning preparations, and the quiet murmur of conversation form a steady, calming rhythm. Even in the midst of the wider chaos of war, here is a world where every motion is deliberate and measured, designed to soothe and sustain. Breakfast in the hospital is calm and predictable. Simple porridge, bread, and tea are distributed quietly. The nurse's soft voice guides patients through the routine, asking gently if they are comfortable, if they need anything adjusted. The sound of soft footsteps on wooden floors and the gentle scraping of utensils against tins or bowls creates a subtle, hypnotic backdrop, encouraging stillness and reflection. Throughout the day, nurses perform their duties with a balance of attentiveness and care. They change linens, prepare bandages, and monitor each patient with quiet diligence, observing breathing patterns, adjusting pillows, and ensuring warmth and comfort. All these small acts are imbued with gentle rhythm. Even the simple act of passing a bowl of soup, the careful pouring of tea, or the soft unfolding of a clean cloth carries a meditative cadence. Medical observation, while crucial, is conducted with calm and precision. Notes are taken softly, instruments handled gently, and each patient's progress carefully monitored. The low hum of conversation, reassuring, non-intrusive, permeates the space, creating a sense of safety and predictability that contrasts with the unpredictability of the front lines. Here, the focus is on sustaining life through quiet, steady acts of care, each one forming part of an immersive pattern of comfort and attentiveness. Afternoons are often filled with slower activities, reading aloud, minor exercises, or simply moments of stillness. Sunlight filters through windows, casting warm, dappled patterns across floors and walls. The scent of clean linens and mild ointments mingles with the faint aroma of brewing tea or simmering broth, creating a layered, calming sensory environment. Even routine tasks, the folding of blankets, the checking of water, the adjustment of bedding become immersive, soothing actions, inviting the listener to relax deeper into the pace of the day. Small personal moments are cherished. A patient receives a letter, and the sound of the paper unfolding, the quiet reading, and the soft reactions to familiar words bring warmth to the space. A nurse might quietly hum a gentle tune while working, the notes blending with the soft rustle of clothing and the occasional distant footstep. The world here moves with patience, a slow heartbeat that balances the urgency and tension elsewhere in the war. Evening routines begin with the same care. Lights are dimmed, fires or lanterns provide a gentle glow, and the staff ensure each patient is ready for the night. The rhythm of quiet tasks, the smoothing of sheets, the final rounds of water and comfort checks, the soft adjustment of pillows creates a steadying cadence. Patients settle, blankets tucked, breathing slows, and the hospital becomes a space of calm reflection, observation, and restorative rhythm. Through all of this, the gentle interplay between care, observation, and calm routine defines the hospital experience. Each action, each motion is slow, deliberate, and immersive, creating a soothing pattern that carries the listener into a tranquil state. Even in a world of conflict, these moments of quiet attention, of gentle support, and of measured care offer comfort, grounding, and a sense of peace. This is part 4, Nurses, Hospitals, and Quiet Care, a long, immersive journey into the softer side of World War I life. Let your mind absorb the gentle motions, the soft murmurs, and the layered sensory environment, allowing yourself to drift into calm reflection alongside the quiet rhythm of the hospital. As the day in the camp winds down, a slower, gentler rhythm settles over the trenches, hospitals, and barracks. The sun dips lower, casting soft, muted colors across the earth and canvas, the long shadows stretching lazily along the ground. Evenings are a transition, a bridge between the busy hours of duties, drills, and quiet care, and the restorative calm of night. Soldiers return from trenches and duties, boots pressing into the soft earth, the faint scrape of metal gear echoing gently. They pause to wash hands and face, the cool water running slowly from wooden basins, carrying away the remnants of the day. Some take a few quiet moments alone, leaning against posts or peering at the horizon, breathing deeply and letting the soft breeze brush over their skin. These are the moments of reflection, of mental reprieve, where thoughts of home, memories, or gentle imaginings occupy the mind. Evening meals are simple but comforting. Rations are shared quietly. Bowls of stew, pieces of bread, small portions of preserved vegetables, and the occasional hot beverage. The clink of utensils, the gentle murmur of conversation, and the subtle aroma of warm food fill the camp with a layered sense of security. Even amidst the context of war, these meals offer a familiar and calming rhythm, anchoring the soldiers in the comfort of repetition and small pleasures. The camp gradually quiets as tasks of the day are completed. Tents are secured, fires dampened or gently tended, and equipment arranged neatly in preparation for the next day. Lanterns glow softly, casting warm, flickering light that dances along canvas walls and wooden posts. The muted sounds of footsteps, fabric, and distant whispers create an immersive, gentle soundscape that soothes and settles the mind. Small interactions, soft greetings between comrades, shared jokes, or quiet updates about distant friends add to the evening's subtle rhythm. The tone is calm, reflective, and measured, with no urgency, creating an environment that encourages relaxation and immersion in the sensory details of camp life. Even brief acts, such as polishing boots, folding blankets, or preparing equipment for the following morning, contribute to the steady pulse of the evening. As darkness deepens, soldiers prepare for rest. Bedding is arranged carefully, blankets tucked securely, and small personal items placed within reach. The smells of earth, straw, linen, and faint traces of fires mix into a soothing, layered scent that envelops the camp. Some linger quietly, gazing at the night sky, noticing stars through gaps in tents or the faint glow of distant lanterns. The act is meditative, slow, and absorbing, providing a gentle transition into the night. Night routines are deliberate, almost ceremonial in their calm repetition. Footsteps are muffled, voices lowered, and movements careful, respecting the stillness that now envelops the camp. A final check of equipment, a quiet exchange of words, and the careful settling of bedding ensure comfort and safety. The soft rustle of blankets, the gentle exhale of fellow soldiers, and the subtle creak of wood form a harmonious symphony of quiet sounds. Sleep comes gradually. Even in the open-air tents or simple barracks, the steady rhythms of the day, the soft shuffle of movements, the faint clinking of metal, the distant hum of the camp linger as a comforting background. The mind, following these gentle patterns, drifts naturally into rest, absorbing the slow cadence of life at the front. Imagination can wander along the quiet paths, the soft light of lanterns, and the muted contours of tents and trenches bringing a sense of closure to the day. This is Part 5, Evenings and Downtime, a long, immersive, sleep-inducing exploration of the camp's nightly rhythms, reflection, and the gentle, restorative routines that guide soldiers toward rest. Allow yourself to be carried by the measured pace, the soft sensory details, and the quiet immersion into the calm world of the camp at night. As the camp settles into darkness, a final intimate rhythm takes hold. The night is deep, the air cool, carrying the soft sense of earth, straw, and faint smoke from dying fires. It is during these hours that soldiers allow their minds to wander gently, reflecting on the day, on distant loved ones, and on moments of quiet beauty that often go unnoticed amidst the daily routines of war. Letters are opened with care, their edges soft under tired fingers. The written words, inked with love, reassurance, or gentle humor, create a connection across distance that feels tangible, almost alive. Reading them slowly, absorbing each line, provides solace and a gentle rhythm, the soft turning of pages punctuating the quiet of the night. Some soldiers respond, carefully penning their own letters, each stroke of the pen deliberate and meditative, a ritual that soothes the mind and body alike. Memories surface naturally in these hours. The sound of laughter from home, the aroma of familiar meals, and the warmth of family or friends bring fleeting moments of comfort. Soldiers speak softly of these recollections to one another, the hushed voices blending with the occasional rustle of blankets or the distant echo of night winds. It is a time of shared intimacy, quiet reflection, and gentle connection, forming a bridge between the present and the world left behind. Night vigilance continues, subtle but constant. Some soldiers maintain quiet watch, observing the camp, scanning the horizon, or listening to the muted sounds of the landscape. Their movements are slow, deliberate, and measured, each motion integrated seamlessly into the calm, immersive environment. The soft swish of fabric, the gentle creak of floorboards or wooden planks, and the faint murmur of voices create a layered, soothing soundscape perfect for sleep-friendly storytelling. Small rituals accompany these final hours. A cup of warm broth, a sip of water, or a moment of stretching muscles stiff from the day becomes a mindful pause. The gentle folding of clothing, the careful arrangement of bedding, and the final inspection of equipment reinforce the structured calm of the night. Each action, though simple, provides a subtle reassurance, a quiet rhythm that guides both soldiers and listeners toward rest. Outside the tents and barracks, nature adds its soft accompaniment. The rustle of leaves in a gentle wind, the distant cry of an owl, or the faint movement of small creatures in the underbrush merges with the human rhythms, creating a layered, immersive environment. These natural sounds, combined with the measured routines of the camp, form a calming backdrop that encourage relaxation and the slow descent into sleep. As midnight deepens, the camp becomes hushed. Lanterns glow faintly, fires smolder, and the world feels suspended in a gentle balance between awareness and rest. Soldiers nestle into their bedding, the comforting weight of blankets, the warmth of close companions, and the familiarity of routines creating a cocoon of calm. Even the act of breathing becomes synchronized with the gentle cadence of the night, each exhale soft, measured, and immersive. This is Part 6, Letters, Memories, and Night Vigil, the final hour of your immersive, slow, sleep-inducing journey through the lives of soldiers in World War I. Let the measured rhythms, quiet reflections, and soft sensory details carry you into rest. As the camp and its inhabitants settle fully into sleep, allow yourself to drift alongside them, calm, peaceful, and immersed in the gentle pulse of a day fully lived. This concludes your World War I immersive storytelling experience. You can now gently close your eyes, feeling the slow, measured cadence of camp life, the quiet care of night routines, and the comforting presence of the soldier's world fading into restful sleep.